Hello, my name is Asha, and this is Asha Reviews Movies and TV. Today, we are going to be going over Movie of the Month for the month of November 2025. Before we get started, I'd just like to say don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and check out my other channel for comic book related content. So we're going to get straight into this. So this one's probably going to be a bit longer video on the channel. So, as you can see, I've got some pictures of DVDs and a bit of a cinema screen there, just, to add some flair. So the first movie we watched this month, actually technically it's the second movie we watched this month, because I'll explain that later on. But the first movie we technically watched this month was The Dark Knight, and this is the first movie I also reviewed on the channel. So The Dark Knight is a action-packed story about one superhero, in particular Batman, and this has an amazing array of cast and great actors and actresses, including obviously Christian Bale, Gary Oldman, Michael Caine, Heath Ledger, who plays the Joker in this film, and obviously you have Morgan Freeman in there as well. The IMDb rating for this movie is a 9.1 out of 10, and if you do know anything about me, you know that this is my favourite movie of all time. And this will always be my favourite movie of all time, I think. I rated this a 9.5 because I seem to be, with my ratings recently, I've been going a bit easier on the films, but I'm starting to get a bit more rough with the films. Because the films, this film does probably deserve a 10 out of 10 in not most people's books. If they do like Christopher Nolan's work as a director, they will probably rate it a 10 out of 10. But this is the highest rating I've ever given on my channel, and it's probably the highest rating I will give on my channel ever. So with a rating of 9.5, it kind of looks bad for the rest of the films. The next film we reviewed on the channel, again with a really high rating, was the Lego Batman movie. I was kind of going through a cycle at the start of the month, trying to watch all the Batman movies I haven't watched on the channel. I've still got a few more to go through for you guys, but we're almost there. So the Lego Batman movie, this I can't remember what's his name. Will something. Will Arnett. Will Arnett voices Batman. Don't ask me who else gets voice actors, because I can't remember. The IMDb rating for this movie is a 7.3, and my rating for this movie is an 8.9. So you can kind of see that I was a bit less of a judge at the start of the year, at the start of the month, because I would give it an 8.9 out of 10, when normally I probably would have given it probably about a 7.8 maybe, if I was lucky. If it was lucky. But this was honestly such a great film. I did really love it. It's one of my favourite films of all time. I think I gave it 4.5 stars on Letterboxd, and it was definitely a contender for the top 4 on Letterboxd as well. And then we got into some of the not so good films. We got Aquaman Rage of Atlantis. This is a Lego film, Lego DC film. And I do just want to show you that, because this is not available obviously on any on any type of social streaming service other than Prime, which you do have to pay for it. So if you do see this on DVD, it's quite rare. You can get quite a few quid for it if you resell it to CX, or if you resell it online, you can probably get about a tenner for it just on the DVD version alone. So the IMDb rating for this movie was a 5.7, and my rating was a 6.0. So it's still a decent film, but I just don't think they give enough depth to the character, and I think they played Aquaman kind of a fool in this film. I don't like the villains in this film, to be honest, either Ocean Master and what's his name? The Red Lantern, I can't remember his name. They weren't too good of villains either. Batman Gotham Knight now. So this is voiced by the great sorry, I'm blanking right now. This is voiced by the great Kevin Conroy. So you may know obviously Kevin Conroy from doing a lot of the Arkham games. He's done quite a few of the shows. He did the voice acting for the Justice League animated series as Batman, obviously. So he has done a lot of different stuff. mainly as the voice of Batman, because if you think about Batman's voice, you probably think of Kevin Conroy. So this is Batman Gotham Knight. I rated this, the IMDb rating was a 6.6, and my rating was a 6.2 out of 10. I thought it was a decent film, but I just think I didn't like how they kept on changing the art style and the animation style. One time they went from anime type style to like comic book, and I just really didn't like it, to be honest. I felt like it should have stayed in one type of animation. So, and honestly, I'm not a big fan of anime as it is, so that's probably why I rated this a bit of a lower score. Scooby-Doo Meets Batman is next. So, the Scooby-Doo Meets Batman. This has an IMDb rating of a 6.9 out of 10, and my rating was a 7.3. So you can tell I definitely enjoyed this. This wasn't as much of a movie as it was a collection of episodes, like the Gotham Knight film was. But I did enjoy this, and obviously going through all the Batman films I had, which I didn't watch, this was one of them on the list. And then from this came the Scooby-Doo films. So we have Scooby-Doo, the movie, from 2002, starring Matthew Lillard, Freddie Prinze Jr. and I can't remember the other two. Sorry, sorry about that. Right, this has an IMDb rating of a 5.4 out of 10, and my rating was a 6.9. So you can see there was quite a substantial leap there in rating. This is because for me, it was more of a childhood classic movie, especially being such a big fan of, in particular, Scooby-Doo and stuff like this. Scooby-Doo has always been a great thing in my family. My nan loves it, I love it. It's such a great animation, such a great film altogether. So yeah, I was very much in the rhythm of watching films that actually branch off as a film at this point of the month. So this is why I watched Scooby-Doo the movie, obviously starring Matthew Lillard. You also may know Matthew Lillard for being a part of the Scream franchise, which is where I know him from, obviously. And I also do remember him being quite a quirky character. He was a really good Shaggy in this movie. And I do also like the animation style as well with Scooby-Doo. The story wasn't as good as cartoon Scooby-Doo movies, because obviously you unmask the person at the end of the day. But in this story, it was more about monsters and aliens and stuff like that, and I just didn't think that was as true to the Mystery Inc. as it was to just trying to make a good story. Also directed by James Gunn, which obviously being one of his first works in the directing and screenwriting position, actually was really good. And then off this, we had Scooby-Doo The Mystery Begins. Because I don't actually own the second Scooby-Doo with Matthew Lillard, all the second Scooby-Doo to this franchise, I had to just go straight to this one. Which, again, wasn't too bad of a movie. But I just thought that the acting, it was terrible, I'm going to be honest. It was not the best acting I've seen ever. Scooby-Doo The Mystery Begins is this movie now. Oh, did I even tell you the rating? Yeah, I did tell you the rating for that, didn't I? Scooby-Doo The Mystery Begins. Not a terrible movie, but definitely not in my top 10, not even in my top 5, not in my top 100 movies of all time. I wouldn't even say in my top 500 movies of all time, if I'm honest. Obviously, I haven't watched 500 movies, I don't think. But this is definitely lower down on the list than other things, but it's also higher than a lot of other things as well. Still, half decent movie. Not good acting. That's basically the reason why I didn't like it. Then we went to a completely different franchise, and we went to Jurassic Park because I watched this with my family, and we did a bit of a movie night. I've also got a pickup to show you at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. The IMDb rating for this movie was an 8.2, and I felt like I did a bit of a low ball, and I gave it a 6.8 out of 10. I do think I could have probably given it at least a 7.2 out of 10, because I do think I lowballed it a bit, but ratings are ratings. They'll be. It was a great movie, plenty of great action, plenty of great, I do like the CGI for the time, was really great, really great actors and actresses in the film. Jeff Goldblum was in there, really good job by him, but I think his character was underused a lot in this film. That's kind of why I took it down a few marks. Right. Next we've got TMNT. So we're trying to finish off like franchises this month. So I tried to finish off the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles franchise, or at least the DVDs I got of them. I've only got one more TMNT DVD, but I'm pretty sure that's just a collection of episodes. So I'm going to check that out soon. Stay tuned for the newest short telling you what I'm going to be watching this week, and you can check that out. See if it's on that in that list. So the IMDb rating for this movie was 6.2, and then my rating for this movie was a 6.5. Chris Evans voices a character in this film, and so does believe Morgan Freeman. I think he does voice a character in this film. I think. Don't get me wrong there, but it's a really great film. Can't really say anything bad about it, to be honest. There were loads of great action sequences. The only thing I do think they could have used a character like Shredder. You know, you had the Foot Clan and they're working with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by the end of the film. They were working together, so I was thinking, why not bring the Shredder into this, and then you can see a bit of a team up with Shredder. Obviously, you know, if you think about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the villain you think about is Shredder, the Foot Clan, and the two guys, the Rhino and the Hog. Can't remember their names. But again, this scored a few bonus points because it is a childhood movie for me. I've watched it a few times in my childhood. I didn't realise this was animated, to be honest, but I'm glad it was, because I think this in live action would not have been too good. But it was great in animation. So yeah. She's Out of My League was the next film I watched. This is like a rom-com. Some few great actors in there. With an IMDb rating of a 6.4, I actually went lower than the rating in this point, and I did a 5.9 out of 10. This was, it was. I'm not gonna say it's a great film, but it was a half decent romantic comedy. And don't get me wrong, I definitely would pick this up on DVD if I saw it outside. If I saw it, in a charity shop, 50 pence a pound, I would pick it up because I do want this in my collection. I definitely want to give it a rewatch at some point. I actually watched this on YouTube. It's available for free on there if you're in the UK. You can watch it for free with ads. So go check that out if you do want to watch this film. I give it a rating of 5.9 purely because I thought some of the acting could have been a bit better, and because some of the comedy does lack at times, and that's literally the only reason I give it a few minus points. The Usual Suspects, okay? This was one of my favourite watches of the month. Last month. It was really fun. It was a really fun film. I went into this expecting one of them older films that wasn't as good as you think of an old film and you think, oh, I don't know if I want to watch that. It might be bad. But this film, when I tell you, it was nothing of the sort. It was amazing. Obviously starring Kevin Spacey, as you can see there on the picture. Kevin Spacey. The Usual Suspects is kind of like a story about. It's a crime thriller and deception film. There's a lot of deception in this film. The ending rattled my brain. I'm not even gonna lie, rattled my brain. I did not see that come in. But obviously, I'm not gonna spoil that for you. But it was such a great ending, so you definitely need to watch this. With an IMDb rating of an 8.5, I give it a 7.9, purely because I think some of the characters in this film were underused, and I think you should have seen a bit more action in this type of film. I did also really enjoy the the drama type of movie that it is. Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. This again, I think this is in the top 3 for the month, if I'm honest. Although we did watch a lot of great films this month. Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. So this stars obviously Mark Hamill, Isla Fisher and Carrie Fisher, and Han Solo is played by. What is it? Oh my god, what am I? What the hell am I doing? Hold on. So Harrison Ford actually plays it. I don't know why my brain went dead then. So I do think they all did a great job acting, and they were all doing great. Obviously I watched episode 1 to 3 and episodes. No, I've watched episodes. 1 to 3 and episodes. 7 to 9 as well, so I want to start with the middle part of this trilogy. This was available for free on ITVX, so that's purely why I put it on, because obviously I cancelled my Disney Plus subscription this month, or last month I think it was. But this is a really great film. It's definitely in the top 3, maybe at the number 2 spot, to be honest, with an IMDb rating of an 8.6. I also give it a rating of an 8.6. I felt that was a fair rating for this film, because there were parts it could do a bit better on, but there were also really great parts in this film as well. And Ted then was the next watch of the month, with an IMDb rating of a 6.9, and my rating was also a 6.9. So you can see I'm purely trying to be not as biased as I possibly could. It was a great film. I've watched it before. I feel like this is a film that I'm definitely going to rewatch again at some point, but I think I need to take a break from it, because I watched it, I think, at the start of the year, and then I watched it last month as well. So definitely not a film you want to watch too many times in the same year, but definitely a film you want to watch at least once a year, probably. A really great film, really great characters, Mila Kunis, Mark Wahlberg, and Seth MacFarlane, as obviously Seth MacFarlane also directed this film, which is, he's a great director, and I think he's also a great writer and a great voice actor in this film as well. Top Gun was a first time watch this month also. Well, not also, yeah, also. With an IMDb rating of a 7.0 out of 10, and my rating was a 6.9 out of 10. Top Gun stars Tom Cruise and a few other characters, a few other actors, as well as Val Kilmer. This is a great action-packed, kind of like military motivation movie. Really great cast. I just felt at some point it was the actual plot of the movie was lacking a bit towards the end, and I felt like they could have made it a bit more ramped up. Hacksaw Ridge was the next movie, and I tell you what, this was one of the best films I watched last month, without a doubt. I gave it an IMDb rating of an 8.1, and my rating was an 8.5, so I've really risen that up a bit. It stars Andrew Garfield, and he is a great actor. I don't care what anybody says, he's a great actor. Especially in this film, for me, he has done a great job at actually being the guy, the character. And obviously, it's based on a true story, and I love films that are based on true stories, especially when it's a film like this. It's a great story and a great plot and a great actor. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is next then, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie, Brad Pitt, and Margaret Qualley. It's directed and written by Quentin Tarantino. This has an IMDb rating of 7.6 out of 10, and my rating was an 8.0 out of 10. So I did rise that a bit, but I did think this was also a really great film. I watched this in 2 parts because it was a very long film. I think it was about 2.5 hours, and I couldn't sit there for 2.5 hours because I was knackered. Really great film, really great actors, really great director. The movie of the month for the month of November 2025, I'm sure you can see, is The Dark Knight. It was if you were listening since the start of the video, you'd obviously know it was going to be The Dark Knight, because it is my favourite film of all time. It's not going to not get the movie of the month, is it? The honourable mention goes to the 2022 Batman, which I rewatched the start of that month as well, because I was doing a movie marathon with Mackenzie. So The Dark Knight from 2008 is what wins movie of the month. I'd like to take this time to say thank you all for supporting us to 100 subscribers on the channel, which is really great. There will be a 100 subscriber special at some point, probably in the next 2 weeks, the next 2 to 3 weeks. Thank you all for watching. Oh, actually, we need to go through this month's pickups. We have got one pickup, which we didn't actually pick up. My brother gave this as a gift to me, so thank you to him. This is Jurassic Park: The Ultimate Collection. We've got all 4 Jurassic Park films in there. Not great light in this, to be honest. Contains Jurassic Park, The Lost World Jurassic Park, Jurassic Park 3, and Beyond Jurassic Park, which is, I think, a bit of special features. So that's a great pickup. I think it sells for about £6 on CEX. So a special thank you to my brother for picking that up for me. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.